Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear me right now because we're about to have a real conversation. Life is tough. No one said it wasn't. We all go through it, ups, downs, and those times when you just feel lost. You know what I'm talking about? You wake up in the morning, you look at the mirror, and you don't even recognize the person staring back at you. You feel like you're stuck in a place where nothing's moving forward. Your dreams, your goals, your aspirations seem distant. You don't know where you're going, or even if you're going anywhere at all. And let me tell you, I've been there. I've been lost. We all have. But here's the thing, there's power in knowing that you're not alone in this. Every single one of us has been in that dark place at some point. Some of us stay in it longer than others, but let me tell you, you don't have to stay there. I don't care how deep in the hole you are right now. I don't care how many mistakes you've made, how many times you've tried and failed. You can get out of this. You can turn it around. I know it because I've seen it happen. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't have a plan. Guess what? That's okay. Not knowing is part of the process. We're not born with a manual for life. And nobody has the answers handed to them on a silver platter. You have to go through the fire to come out stronger. You have to walk through the wilderness to find your way. The key isn't in knowing where you're going. The key is in knowing that you're going to keep moving. Keep moving forward, even when you can't see the next step. I want to ask you something. What are you afraid of? What are you scared of? Fear is the number one thing that keeps people stuck. It keeps us paralyzed. It keeps us from making decisions, from taking risks. But let me tell you, fear is a liar. It'll tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not capable, that you're not strong enough to handle what's coming. But fear doesn't know you. Fear doesn't know the strength that's inside you. Fear doesn't know what you're made of. And you know what? Fear doesn't get to decide your future. I want you to remember something today. You're not defined by your mistakes. You're not defined by the times you've fallen down, the times you failed. You're defined by how you get up. You're defined by your resilience. You're defined by your will to keep pushing, to keep striving, no matter what life throws your way. And trust me, life will throw things at you. It'll hit you hard, it'll knock you down, and it'll test you in ways you can't even imagine. But that's when you have to dig deep. You have to tap into that part of you that refuses to quit. You're not here by accident. Your story isn't over. It's just begun. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you encounter is there to teach you something. It's there to shape you, to build you. But only if you let it. Because the truth is, you're never as lost as you think you are. You're just in the middle of the journey. You haven't seen the whole picture yet. And I know it feels like you're stuck, but trust me, it's part of the process. Life is about taking action. Every single day, you have to make a decision. Are you going to stay where you are? Or are you going to get up and fight for your future? Every day, you have to choose. And let me tell you something. That decision isn't always easy. Some days, you're going to feel like throwing in the towel. Some days, you're going to feel like everything is falling apart. But those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments that matter. When you're standing in the face of adversity and you choose to keep moving, you're already winning. Now, success is not about having all the answers. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being the smartest, the most talented, or the most skilled. Success is about having the courage to keep going, even when you don't know the way. It's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and trusting the process. The results will come. But they only come if you stay in the game. And I know that for some of you, it feels like you've been in the game for a long time and you still haven't seen the results you're looking for. You've been working, you've been grinding, you've been doing everything you can, but it feels like you're getting nowhere. You're not getting the recognition you deserve. Your dreams feel farther away than ever. And you're starting to wonder if it's all worth it. I get it. I really do. But let me tell you something that I had to learn the hard way. Your breakthrough is coming. You don't see it yet, but it's coming. And it's going to be bigger than you ever imagined. But you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. I don't care if you've been knocked down 1,000 times. I don't care if you face failure after failure. What matters is that you keep getting back up. You keep fighting. You keep fighting. You keep believing in yourself, even when it feels like nobody else does. Because here's the thing, if you don't believe in you, then who else will? You have to believe in your own potential. You have to believe that you have what it takes to succeed. You have to believe that you are worthy of the success you desire and that you're capable of achieving it. So stop feeling lost. Stop feeling like you don't know where you're going. You don't have to know all the answers. You just have to keep moving forward. One step at a time. One day at a time. And when you fall, get back up. And when you get knocked down, keep going. Don't let anything stop you. The journey is long and it's not easy, but it's worth it. Every struggle, every hardship, every setback, it all leads to something greater. You just have to trust the process. You have to trust yourself. And most importantly, you have to keep going. Because the only way to lose is stop trying. And as long as you keep moving, you haven't lost yet. Feeling lost is a natural part of life, and it's okay not to have all the answers. The key is to keep moving forward, even when you don't know exactly where you're going. Trust the process and know that every challenge helps shape who you are. Fear holds us back from taking risks and pursuing our dreams. It tells us we're not capable, but fear doesn't know your strength. Don't let fear dictate your future. Face it head on and keep pushing forward. Success is not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about having the courage to keep going no matter how many times you fall. Your resilience in the face of adversity is what defines you and will lead you to success. Believe in yourself and your ability to succeed, even when others doubt you or you face setbacks. If you don't believe in your own worth and capabilities, no one else will. Keep believing, keep fighting, and keep moving forward. Life is a journey, and it's a journey filled with twists and turns that we can't always predict or control. When we're young, we imagine that life will unfold in a straight line, that if we work hard enough, everything will just fall into place. But that's not reality, is it? The truth is, life is messy. It's unpredictable. It's full of moments where we feel lost, confused, and uncertain. And yet there's power in those moments. There's power in embracing the journey, even when it feels like the path is unclear, even when the road ahead is filled with obstacles. You see, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that the destination is everything. We all want to get to the end of the journey, the place where we've achieved our goals, where we've made it. But the reality is that the end is just a moment. It's the journey that truly shapes us, that teaches us, that molds us into who we are meant to be. The journey is where we grow, where we learn, and where we discover our true potential. It's where we uncover our purpose and find the strength to keep going, even when the path ahead seems impossible. It's easy to get frustrated when we feel lost, when we don't know where we're going. We live in a world that demands instant gratification, where we want answers now and we want results even faster. But life doesn't work that way. The best things don't come quickly. The most valuable lessons aren't learned overnight. We can't rush the process. We have to trust that every step, every misstep, every setback is part of the greater picture. And sometimes the most important thing you can do is take a step forward, even if you don't know exactly where it leads. Embracing the journey means being okay with the uncertainty. It means being willing to face the unknown, even when it's uncomfortable. We're often taught to avoid discomfort, to run from the things that scare us, to seek security and stability above all else. But the truth is, discomfort is where growth happens. When we step outside our comfort zones, when we face challenges and obstacles that seem impossible to overcome, that's when we stretch ourselves. That's when we learn to tap into the strength we didn't know we had. And it's only through these experiences that we find out what we're really capable of. The journey isn't about having everything figured out. It's about being willing to try, to fall, to get up again, and to keep going. It's about making mistakes and learning from them, about taking risks and stepping into the unknown with faith that we'll be better for it. Life doesn't always make sense, and it doesn't always go the way we expect it to. But every detour, every challenge, every difficult moment has something valuable to teach us. The struggle is part of the process, and it's in the struggle that we find our strength. It's important to remember that the journey is never a straight line. We're often told that success looks like a clear upward trajectory, a straight path from where we are now to where we want to be. But that's not how life works. There will be setbacks. There will be obstacles. There will be days when you feel like you're not getting any closer to your goals, no matter how hard you try. And that's okay. Those moments don't mean you failed, they mean you're on the right path. You're being tested. You're learning how to navigate the ups and downs, and you're learning what it takes to push through when things get tough. There's no such thing as failure, not if you're learning from your experiences. Every setback is an opportunity to grow. Every challenge is a chance to build your resilience. And the truth is, the setbacks and failures are often the moments that teach us the most about ourselves. We learn more from our struggles than we do from our successes. It's in the hard times that we truly discover what we're made of. And when we look back, we realize that it was those tough moments that shaped us into the person we are today. The journey also means learning to be patient with ourselves. We live in a world that constantly tells us to move fast, to do more, be more. But the truth is, growth takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week or a month or even a year. It happens slowly in small moments, in the quiet, often unnoticed steps that we take day by day. If you try to rush the process, you're going to miss out on the lessons that are waiting for you along the way. It's in those quiet, incremental moments that we build the foundation for the life we want to create. And let me tell you, embracing the journey also means learning to be okay with the fact that there will be times when you feel uncertain. You're not always going to know where you're going or what the next step should be. And that's perfectly fine. Sometimes the best thing you can do is take a deep breath, trust yourself, and take the next step, even when you don't have all the answers. You don't need to know everything in order to move forward. You don't need to have a perfect plan. You just need to be willing to start, to trust that you'll figure it out as you go. I know it's easy to get discouraged when you feel lost, when you're not sure where you're headed, or when it feels like the world is moving faster than you can keep up. But let me tell you, the most important thing you can do is keep going. Keep moving, don't stop. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, even when you feel stuck, keep going. It's in those moments of uncertainty that you're laying the groundwork for your future. It's when you keep going, even when it's hard, that you're building the life you want. Embracing the journey also means accepting that there will be seasons of quiet. There will be moments when it feels like you're not making any progress at all. You'll feel like you're just treading water, not moving forward, not getting closer to your goals. And those moments can be frustrating. But remember, even in those quiet seasons, you're still growing. You're still learning. You're still learning. You're still building the foundation for what's to come. Sometimes growth happens in the background. It happens when you're not even aware of it, when you're not getting immediate results. But trust me, the progress is there. It's always there. There will also be moments when you question your purpose, when you wonder if all of this is worth it. You'll look around and wonder if you're on the right path, if you're doing the right thing. And in those moments, you have to dig deep. You have to remind yourself that you're exactly where you need to be. The journey isn't about having it all figured out. It's about taking one step at a time and trusting that the path will unfold as you go. Trust that every experience, every decision, every moment is leading you towards your purpose. So when you feel lost, when you feel uncertain, when you feel like you're not moving forward, I want you to remember one thing: you are exactly where you need to be. Every single moment is part of the journey. Every misstep, every setback, every mistake, it's all part of the process. And I want you to understand that the journey is not a destination. It's not a place you're trying to get to. The journey is your life, every single day, every single step, every single moment. And that journey is worth embracing because it's the only one you've got. You've got to embrace it, no matter how tough it gets. Embrace the process. Embrace the uncertainty. Embrace the challenges. Because that's where the magic happens. That's where the transformation takes place. And when you look back, you'll realize that it was the journey, not the destination, that made all the difference. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that we'll face in our lives. It shows up in so many different forms, from the quiet voice in the back of our heads telling us we're not good enough, to the loud, paralyzing feeling that stops us from taking action altogether. We fear failure, rejection, criticism, the unknown, and even success. Fear holds us back in ways we often don't even recognize until it's too late. But what if I told you that fear is a liar? What if I told you that everything you're afraid of is based on false narratives, stories that you've allowed to define you? What if you could see fear for what it really is, a creation of your mind designed to keep you safe, but in doing so, preventing you from growing, from becoming everything you are meant to be? The thing about fear is that it doesn't just show up when we're in physical danger. Most of the time, fear shows up when we're about to step out of our comfort zone, when we're about to take a risk, or when we're about to do something we've never done before. It's that voice that whispers, what if you fail? What if you make a mistake? What if they laugh at you? What if you're not good enough? Fear will always give you a million reasons why you should stay where you are, why you should stay small, why you should not move forward. And the worst part is we often listen. We allow those thoughts to control us, to dictate our actions, to keep us stuck in places that we don't want to be. But let me tell you something, fear is lying to you. Fear is lying when it tells you that you're not capable. Fear is lying when it tells you that you'll never succeed. Fear is lying when it tells you that you should quit, that it's too late, or that you're not worthy of your dreams. Because the truth is, you are capable. You are worthy. You are enough. And the only thing standing between you and the life you want to create is fear, the fear that tells you to stop, to shrink, to play it safe. The reason fear is such a powerful liar is that it plays on our insecurities. It knows exactly where to strike. It knows where we're vulnerable, where we doubt ourselves the most. It magnifies our weaknesses, our past failures, our mistakes, and uses them against us. Fear makes us believe that we're defined by our past, that we're limited by our experiences, that we're trapped in who we used to be. But that's not true. Your past does not dictate your future. The mistakes you made yesterday are not the mistakes you're doomed to make today. Fear tries to tell you that you'll always be the same, that you'll never change, but that's one of its biggest lies. Fear is also a liar because it convinces us that we need to be perfect. It makes us believe that if we don't do something perfectly, we failed. It tells us that if we make a mistake, we're not good enough, that we're not worthy of success. But let me tell you something, nobody is perfect. Not a single person you admire, not a single person who's successful, not a single person who's made a difference in this world got there by being perfect. They got there by making mistakes, by taking risks, by failing over and over again, and by learning from each one of those failures. Perfection is an illusion, and fear uses it to keep you from taking action. It makes you believe that you have to wait until everything is just right, until you've figured it all out, until you've perfected every detail. But the truth is, you will never have it all figured out. You'll never have all the answers. And if you wait for the perfect moment, you'll wait forever. Fear will make sure of that. Another way that fear lies to us is by telling us that the consequences of failure will be worse than the consequences of trying. Fear convinces us that if we fail, we'll be judged, ridiculed, rejected, or even ostracized. It tells us that failure will define us, that it will mark us as unworthy or not good enough. But what fear doesn't want you to see is that failure is not the end. It's the beginning. Failure is the lesson. It's the teacher that shows you what works and what doesn't, what you're capable of and what you need to improve. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. The most successful people in the world have failed countless times. And guess what? They keep failing. But they keep going. They don't let failure define them because they know that it's just another step on the way to their success. Fear, on the other hand, wants you to believe that failure is final. But it's not. Failure is simply a part of the process. One of the most insidious ways fear lies to us is by convincing us that it's trying to protect us. Fear will tell you that it's only trying to keep you safe, that it's warning you of danger. But here's the thing, the danger that fear is warning you about is almost always imagined. It's a worst-case scenario that hasn't happened and in all likelihood never will happen. Fear wants you to believe that if you take that risk, if you try something new, if you step out of your comfort zone, something terrible will happen. But the truth is, the real danger lies in not trying at all. The real danger lies in staying stuck, in never moving, in never taking a chance. The real danger is never knowing what you're capable of because you let fear dictate your life. The more you allow fear to control you, the more you trap yourself in a box, in a life that's smaller than what you deserve. And the longer you let it hold you back, the harder it will be to break free. Fear lies to us about our potential too. It tells us that we're not capable of doing the things we dream of, that we're not strong enough, smart enough, or talented enough to make it. But again, that's just fear's way of keeping us stuck. The truth is, you are capable of far more than you realize. You have strength inside of you that you haven't even begun to tap into. You have talents and abilities that are just waiting to be unleashed. But you'll never know your true potential unless you step out of fear's grip and start taking action. Fear wants you to believe that you're small, that you're incapable, that you're not meant for greatness. But that's a lie. Your potential is limitless, and the only thing standing between you and the life you want to create is your willingness to overcome fear. You don't have to listen to fear. You don't have to let it control your life. You don't have to let it dictate your decisions or your future. Fear may always be there, lurking in the background, trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you small. But you don't have to let it win. You don't have to let it stop you. You can choose to acknowledge it, to recognize it for what it is, a liar, and then keep moving forward anyway. You can choose to face your fears, to take risks, to push through the discomfort and the doubt. Because the truth is, everything you want is on the other side of fear. On the other side of fear is your potential. On the other side of fear is your success. On the other side of fear is the life you've been dreaming of. Fear is a liar. It lies about who you are. It lies about what you're capable of. It lies about what's at stake. But you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to let it control you. You have the power to choose your path, to choose your future, and to create the life you deserve. And the best part, the more you face fear head on, the weaker it becomes. The more you challenge it, the less power it has over you. And eventually you'll find that fear no longer holds the same weight. It's just a feeling, a thought, a shadow that has no power over you unless you let it. So stop listening to the lies. Step forward into your greatness. Face the fear and keep moving. You are stronger than it. You are capable of more than it will ever let you believe. Fear is something we all experience, whether it's the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, or even the fear of success. It tends to show up in many areas of our lives, often holding us back from the things we desire most. But what if I told you that fear is a liar? That every time you feel that paralyzing grip on your chest or that nagging voice telling you that you're not good enough, you're being fed lies? What if you could see fear for what it really is, a fabrication of your mind designed to protect you, but in reality, keeping you from everything you're truly capable of achieving? Fear doesn't want you to succeed. It doesn't want you to take risks, to push the boundaries of your comfort zone. Fear wants you to stay small, stay quiet, stay safe, but that's not the life you're meant to live. Fear wants to keep you in a box, telling you that if you step out of it, if you try something new, something bad will happen. It uses its power to make you think that anything outside of the known, anything outside of your comfort zone is a threat to your well-being. But the truth is, fear doesn't have the power to harm you. It's only a story you've bought into, a lie that keeps you from your true potential. Fear speaks in the language of what if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if I'm not good enough? Fear loves the what if questions because they keep you stuck in indecision, paralyzed by the unknown. But here's the truth, the what ifs are always worse than the reality. Most of the time, the things we fear never actually come to pass. Fear projects the worst possible scenario, but the reality is rarely as bad as we imagine. In fact, most of the things we fear are based on irrational thoughts and exaggerated stories our minds create. The voice that says you're not good enough or you're going to fail is not telling you the truth. It's telling you a story that you don't have to believe. Think about the things you've accomplished in life. Think about the times when you were scared, when you thought you couldn't do something, but you did it anyway. Did the world end when you stepped out of your comfort zone? Did the worst case scenario come true? Probably not. In fact, more often than not, when we push through fear, we discover that the outcome is nothing like we imagined. It's often better than we expected. Fear wants you to believe that you'll fail. But in truth, failure isn't the end, it's just a stepping stone to success. Failure doesn't define you, it refines you. One of the biggest lies fear tells us is that we are not enough, that somehow we're not qualified, not smart enough, not talented enough, or not worthy of the life we dream about. This lie can be incredibly powerful because it taps into our deepest insecurities. It's a voice that tells you to stay in your lane, to not aim too high, to not reach for your dreams. But here's the truth: you are enough. You are worthy of success. You have everything you need inside of you right now to create the life you desire. The only thing that stands in your way is fear. The only thing holding you back from achieving your goals and living your dreams is the lie that you're not enough. Fear also loves to play on the fear of judgment. What will they think of me? What if they criticize me? What if they don't accept me? These thoughts run through our heads every time we step out and try something new. We worry about how others will perceive us, whether they will approve of our actions or if they'll think less of us. But fear doesn't tell you the truth. It doesn't tell you that most people are too wrapped up in their own lives to pay as much attention to you as you think. It doesn't tell you that criticism is often a reflection of the critic, not of you. Fear tells you to play it safe, to avoid rocking the boat, but real growth, real change only happens when you dare to step out of the shadows and show up for yourself. The judgment of others, though painful at times, is a small price to pay for the freedom and joy that come with living your truth. The more you face your fear of judgment, the less power it has over you. Fear tells you that the worst case scenario will happen, that the risks you take will result in disaster. But how many times have you looked back and realized that the risks you took didn't result in catastrophe? How many times have you looked at a challenge or a difficult situation, thought about backing down, but then pushed through and realized that it wasn't nearly as bad as you had imagined? Most of the things we fear are not nearly as dangerous as our minds lead us to believe. The consequences of taking risks are often far less severe than fear makes them out to be. And even when things don't go as planned, you learn, you grow, and you're better for it. Another lie fear feeds us is the idea that we need to be perfect before we can take action. It's that voice that says you're not ready yet, or you don't know enough, or you're not good enough yet. Fear convinces you that you need to have everything figured out before you can start. But perfection is a myth. There's no such thing as perfect, and waiting until you feel ready is just another form of procrastination. The truth is, you will never feel 100% ready. You will never have everything figured out. But that's okay. You don't need to have it all figured out to take the next step. You don't need to wait for some magical moment when all the pieces align perfectly. You just need to take action. You just need to start. Even if it's messy, even if you're unsure, even if you feel like you're not ready. The first step is the hardest, but once you start, the rest will follow. Fear doesn't want you to take action because action is the antidote to fear. When you take action, you move past the lies and start seeing the truth. Fear thrives on uncertainty. It wants you to stay in the known, to stay where you feel safe, even if that place is uncomfortable or unhealthy. Fear keeps you in the comfort zone where things are predictable, even if they're not fulfilling. But the truth is, life doesn't happen in the comfort zone. Growth happens when you take risks, when you push yourself, when you try something new. The unknown is where the magic happens. The unknown is where you'll find your potential, where you'll discover your capabilities, where you'll find strength you never knew you had. Fear tells you to stay where it's safe, but real life is found outside the safety net. It's found in the risk, the uncertainty, the challenge. One of the most deceptive lies fear tells is that it's trying to protect you. It makes you believe that it's there to keep you from harm, that it's keeping you safe from danger. But in reality, fear is just protecting you from growth. It's protecting you from the discomfort of change, from the possibility of failure, from the possibility of stepping into your true power. Fear doesn't want you to take risks, because taking risks means change. It means breaking free from the familiar, from the constraints that have kept you stuck in the past. Fear tries to protect you from what's uncomfortable, but what it doesn't want you to know is that the discomfort is exactly what you need to break free and move forward. Fear is a liar because it tries to convince you that you are powerless. It tries to tell you that you have no control over your life, over your choices, over your future. But that's not true. You have more power than you realize. You have the power to choose your thoughts, to choose your actions, to choose your response. Fear can only control you if you let it. It can only hold you back if you believe its lies. You are stronger than fear. You are capable of overcoming it. And every time you face fear, you become stronger. Fear is a liar, but you are the truth. You are capable of achieving everything you dream of, and the only thing stopping you is the lies that fear tells you. It's time to see through those lies, to break free, and to start living the life you deserve. Resilience is one of the most powerful traits that define who we are. It's not just about bouncing back from hardship, it's about thriving in the face of adversity. It's about understanding that life will throw challenges your way, some big, some small, but knowing that each obstacle, each setback is not the end of your story, but a chapter in your growth. Life is unpredictable, and while you can't control the storms that come your way, you can control how you respond to them. That response is where your resilience lies. The strength to continue, to push through, to rise every time you fall. That's what makes resilience one of the most defining characteristics of who you are as a person. Resilience doesn't mean you don't experience pain, doubt, or fear. It doesn't mean that you will never feel the weight of the world pressing down on your shoulders. No, resilience is not the absence of struggle. It's the ability to withstand it, to learn from it, and to come out stronger on the other side. It's the refusal to give up, the determination to stand tall, even when everything inside of you wants to break. Life is not about avoiding difficulties. It's about how you choose to face them when they come. Resilience is the quality that allows you to endure the toughest of times, knowing that you have the inner strength to overcome whatever comes next. Think about the times when life wasn't easy for you. Maybe it was the loss of a loved one, a financial struggle, a career setback, or personal heartbreak. In those moments, it might have felt like the weight of the world was too much to bear. You might have wondered if you were strong enough to get through it. But look at you now, you survived. Not only that, but you also learned. You grew, you became stronger. You discovered parts of yourself you never knew existed, the parts of you that didn't give up, the parts of you that still believed in a brighter tomorrow. That's resilience. Resilience is about perspective. It's about seeing the challenges in front of you as opportunities, not just obstacles. When something difficult happens, it's easy to get caught in the idea that this is the end, that you'll never recover, that life as you know it is over. But resilience teaches you to look at the situation from a different angle. What can you learn from this? What can this challenge teach you about yourself, about life, about what you truly want? How can you grow from this moment? It's the ability to reframe the narrative in your mind and use the very thing that's trying to hold you down as fuel to move forward. It's seeing every struggle as an opportunity to strengthen your mind, your heart, and your spirit. One of the most important aspects of resilience is the ability to keep going despite the setbacks. Setbacks are part of the journey. They are not a sign of failure, they are a sign that you are trying. They are evidence that you are pushing yourself beyond your limits, beyond your comfort zone. Without setbacks, there is no growth. Without challenges, there is no progress. The road to success is not a straight line. It's a winding path filled with bumps, detours, and obstacles. And each time you encounter one of those challenges, your resilience is what allows you to keep moving forward. It's the courage to take that next step, even when the path ahead is unclear. It's the belief that the end result is worth the struggle, that you are capable of overcoming whatever stands in your way. We often think of resilience as an individual trait, something that's built over time through personal experience. But resilience is also a product of the people around you, the community that supports you, the relationships that nurture and encourage you. Having a strong support system is essential in building resilience. No one makes it through life alone. The people who encourage you when you're down, who lift you up when you can't stand on your own, who remind you of your strength when you forget, it's these people who help you cultivate resilience. When you fall, they help you rise. But resilience isn't just. Believing in your potential is one of the most powerful forces you can tap into. It's the foundation of all success, the spark that ignites ambition, and the fuel that drives you toward greatness. We all have dreams, desires, and goals, things we want to achieve in our lives. But often the greatest barrier between where we are and where we want to be is the belief in our own potential. We are our own biggest critics. And sometimes the voices in our heads tell us that we're not good enough, that we don't have what it takes, or that our dreams are out of reach. These voices can be incredibly loud, but here's the thing: those voices are not telling you the truth. Your potential is far greater than any doubt you may have about yourself. It's easy to doubt yourself, especially when you're faced with challenges or setbacks. When things aren't going according to plan, when you're struggling, or when the road ahead seems unclear, it's tempting to believe that maybe you're not cut out for success. But here's the truth: struggle and failure are not reflections of your potential. They are a part of the process. Every successful person you admire has faced moments of doubt, moments of failure, moments when they questioned whether they could go on. But what sets them apart is their unwavering belief in their potential, even in the face of adversity. They didn't let the setbacks define them, they let their belief in themselves drive them forward. Believing in your potential starts with understanding that potential is not a fixed thing. It's not something that's handed to you at birth or something you're stuck with. It's fluid, dynamic, and ever evolving. Your potential is not defined by where you are right now. It's defined by where you're going, by the choices you make, by the effort you put in, and by your willingness to learn and grow. Your potential is a reflection of the person you are becoming, not the person you were. The past does not dictate the future. Your history, your failures, your mistakes, they are not your limit. They are stepping stones, building blocks that lead you to something greater. One of the most important things to understand about your potential is that it is not always immediately visible. It doesn't always show up in the form of a clear path or a straightforward journey. Sometimes your potential is buried beneath layers of fear, self-doubt, and past experiences that make it hard for you to see what you're truly capable of. But that doesn't mean it's not there. It's always there, just waiting for you to tap into it. Your potential is like a seed that's been planted deep within you. Sometimes it takes time, patience, and a little nurturing to see it sprout. But once it does, it can grow into something extraordinary. The key to unlocking your potential is believing that it exists, even when you can't see it. You have to trust in yourself, trust in your abilities, and trust in your capacity to grow and evolve. The moment you start to believe in your potential, you open the door to endless possibilities. You stop limiting yourself with self-imposed boundaries, and you start expanding what you think is possible. You start to act in alignment with the person you want to become, not the person you think you are. This shift in mindset is incredibly powerful. It allows you to approach challenges with a sense of purpose and determination because you know deep down that you have the potential to overcome anything that comes your way. However, believing in your potential doesn't mean that you'll never face difficulties or moments of self-doubt. In fact, embracing your potential means that you're willing to confront those moments head-on without letting them derail your progress. When doubt creeps in, when fear takes hold, when you're unsure of your next step, you have to remind yourself that these feelings are temporary. They don't define you. What defines you is your ability to push through, to keep moving forward, even when it feels hard. Resilience is a key component of belief in your potential. It's about getting up, dusting yourself off, and continuing to move forward, no matter how many times you stumble. One of the reasons why people often struggle with believing in their potential is because they compare themselves to others. They look at other people's success and think, I could never do that, or I'm not as talented as they are. This is a dangerous mindset because it shifts your focus away from your own journey and makes you believe that there's a one-size-fits-all path to success. But the truth is, everyone's journey is different. Your potential is unique to you. No one else has the same combination of strengths, experiences, and talents that you do. And no one else can follow your exact path to success. The moment you stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on your own potential is the moment you'll begin to truly thrive. Remember, other people's success does not diminish your own potential. There's more than enough room for everyone to achieve their dreams. Another powerful aspect of believing in your potential is recognizing that it's okay to not have all the answers right now. Too often we get caught up in the idea that we have to have it all figured out, that we need to know exactly what our future holds in order to start working toward it. But the truth is, you don't need all the answers to begin. You just need the courage to take the first step. Trust that as you move forward, the answers will reveal themselves. Trust that each step you take brings you closer to the person you're meant to become, even if you can't see the full picture yet. Believing in your potential is about trusting the process, even when it's unclear. It's about taking action, even when you don't know exactly where it will lead. Believing in your potential also means recognizing the power of self-talk. The way you speak to yourself has a direct impact on how you see your potential and how you act in the world. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough or that you'll never succeed, then you're limiting your own potential. But if you speak to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and confidence, you begin to unlock the doors to possibility. Your mind is a powerful tool, and what you feed it will shape your reality. So choose your thoughts carefully. Choose to believe in your potential, even when it's hard. Choose to see challenges as opportunities for growth and setbacks as lessons to learn from. The more you believe in yourself, the more your actions will reflect that belief. The journey of believing in your potential is not a destination, it's a continuous process. Every day is an opportunity to build on your belief in yourself, to push the boundaries of what you think is possible, and to take steps toward the life you want to create. There will be times when you feel uncertain, when fear creeps in, when doubt takes over, but remember, these feelings are normal. They don't define you. What defines you is your willingness to move forward, to keep believing, and to trust in your own power. Your potential is not fixed. It's ever expanding, ever growing, and always within reach. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like, or when success seems to be taking longer than expected. But remember that growth takes time. It's in the small, consistent steps you take each day that your potential is realized. It's not about making giant leaps, it's about staying committed to your vision no matter how long it takes. Success is not a race, it's a journey. And the only way to fail is to give up on yourself. As long as you continue to believe in your potential, you will continue to grow and evolve. You will continue to move closer to your goals, one step at a time. The beauty of believing in your potential is that it allows you to dream bigger, to aim higher, and to live a life that's in alignment with who you truly are. When you believe in yourself, you no longer settle for mediocrity. You no longer allow fear or doubt to hold you back. You start to see the world as full of possibility, and you begin to take bold action toward your dreams. Your potential becomes limitless, and so does your future. It all starts with believing that you are worthy of the life you envision. You are capable, you are powerful, and you have everything within you to create the life you deserve. Never underestimate your potential. The world is waiting for you to step into it.